that is happening at my end. Why do I think I have been able to do that? Is there is a spiritual journey which has happened in each one of our lives. There is a big change and shift in the mindset. From a me concept, we are all moving to a concept of self-realization and self-actualization. I'm not going to speak about Maslow's law here, but what I will tell you is that the spiritual journey which has happened helps you to be able to do what you do. So I'll take a quote from a gentleman which some people may know, Ikeda Sensei. He is SGI president, and he says, and that is what has happened in the pandemic. A great human revolution is just a single individual will help achieving a change in the destiny of a nation, and further can even enable a change in the destiny of humankind. So what I understand from this is that all of us who are making the small changes today and contributing to the success will be able to do that. Opportunity and scope. I'll quickly introduce myself. As Radhika says, we are all of that age group that is before the start of 2000. So I'm 98, 2000 batch. I've worked in the corporate world for now 20 plus years. Uh, I've been associated with the institute for the last 20 years. I do some roles within the institute. Whenever I get time, I make sure that I pick up some time and get into some teaching mode as well. I try and see if I can impart some amount of learnings. I try and mentor people within the institute. Luckily, Radhika has given me a role to be part of the FIIB financial course curriculum board. Hence, I work with the group and more specifically with Purnima to help us create the curriculum there. While I've done all of this, and then there's a lot of things which has happened in the professional life. I and Vandana is again my batchmate, same institute. We started a bootstrap company with the organic supply. We did fail, but it was a frugal mindset. We did leverage technology. We understood what was happening in life. And then there was a lot of spiritual learning which has happened over the last so many years. What I am currently pursuing is a lot of passion to build a society of value, whether it is based on Ikigai principle, whether it is creating communities for happier living and creating long lifespans for people at large. What has happened in the last 1 year, which is COVID lockdown 1 and lockdown 2, has been significant. In lockdown 1, when we were about in a situation where we were getting into the first phase of lockdown, what we realized was there was tremendous pressure on the workforce. Now, I had close to 3,000 people working across India who were supporting the business, and the vendor contribution or the partner contribution where we have outsourced work is close to 2,000. And the biggest decision making was, should we shut down the headcount? Every headcount I shut down means that 5 people in the house will not get food, right? So we had to take a decision. And luckily, my organization was a large sponsor of doing what I suggested. We paid the vendor without work for the month of April and May. And we did not as an organization sack a single individual at all. And we said we will stay invested and we will make sure that we go through lockdown 1. That happened, and then in the month of January, February, what we were able to do was, I was personally was able to do was, how do I create more value in the ecosystem? So I started working with various firms who were doing some kind of a social work. And what happened on the month of April was little momentous. And why I use the word momentous is, where did it all began? Why did I get into this COVID warrior zone? What happened? One of my colleagues, who is again an SVP, the lady, she picked up the phone in the night and she said, Pritiman, मेरे को ना hospital room चाहिए, bed चाहिए मेरे लिए और मेरे पति के लिए, and then our oxygen levels are below 84. And I picked up the phone, called up people whom I know in Medanta, Pratiksha, and all 4-5 hospitals I knew. Everyone said, yeah, hospital bed is mushkil se milega, but Pratiksha, I found that there is 1 bed available. But within 20 minutes, she called me and she said that I want 2 beds. And if you don't get me 2 beds, I will travel to Chandigarh. You won't believe it, in 30 minutes we couldn't arrange 2 beds, and that was the scenario which got built on 21st of April night, 10 o'clock. Once she said that we are moving to Chandigarh Mohali to save myself and my husband, that was the story which began. At 9:30 I decided that in SBI cards we have got close to 5,000 people, and VHI decided that now, between now and early morning, I will set up a command center for COVID for the organization. And I pulled in 40 people in the night. We created a list of hospitals in NCR and major cities which got impacted, which was Mumbai and Chennai. We created supply chain management in terms of all the supplies of oxygen, oxygen cylinder, hospital beds, ventilators, any remdesivir medicine, and all the logistics. All of this, my 50 people who worked with me for 27 days, each one of us were working 20 hours plus every day on WhatsApp, on calls, on that. We were able to service 1,000 people. We would have saved 40 lives, 50 lives. We would have moved oxygen. So there was supply deficit of oxygen in Delhi. We airlifted oxygen cylinders from Chennai. We moved the resources in, whether it was night or day. We had cabs, we had people on the ground, things were moving. We exactly knew. We imported concentrators, we moved concentrators from one house to another house. We had plasma donor listing done. We had people going to the banks, donating, taking the plasma out, moving out things. It was done seamlessly, and no person stopped doing their professional assignment for 8 to 10 hours. On top of that, during their assignment, they used to add another 10 to 12 hours in the day, keep doing this stuff. The only thing which I got from everyone was blessings. The second event where I am very thankful to people here, whether it is our institute, batchmates, classmates, friends, and other stuff, what is helping is the ecosystem. My people at home, my wife, my parents, my family, I have tremendous amount of gratitude. When I was doing that 20 hours of work, my machinery did not stop at home. My office machinery did not stop. They were the people who were engaging and delivering the back channel things, which is very important for me to go ahead and do what I needed to do. So the travel and the pursuit was important.